Okay, so the first card you've got for your past is this Five of Pentacles. Yeah, very sad card. It's cold, snowy. It's like I've locked out. I can't get inside. I'm injured. I'm upset. So, yeah, there's definitely betrayal here, I think. I think you've been through a betrayal. And, yeah, locked out, pushed away. Someone's locking me out. It feels like a really gradual, very, very gradual pushing away. It feels like you're in some kind of a relationship with someone. And it went on for a long time, actually. And you were ignored. But it's not like someone suddenly ignored you or suddenly they were horrible to you. It's very slow, very gradual. And I think that's why you ended up staying in that. Because it's like, well, something's a little bit different here. Something's a bit wrong. They're not quite texting me back as quickly as they usually do, or maybe they're taking a little bit longer, or maybe they're not listening as much, maybe they're not as interested in what I have to say. And then gradually it got worse and worse and worse. And I think what happened was, like these people here, you tried to knock on the door and say, hello, can you please talk to me? Is there something wrong? What's the matter? Oh, nothing's wrong, I'm just busy. Oh, this, that. But then it got worse and worse. Even though and the more you tried to communicate, I think it felt like the less they were communicating. So, it's very, very difficult situation to be in. And I think, you would never have stayed there if you didn't have feelings and you had very, very strong feelings for this person. Yeah, I have to say this, it's going to sound a bit horrible, and I know cross-watchers are going to be mad at me for a change. But it feels a bit cowardly, actually. Very cowardly. Because if they're not happy with you, why don't they just say? Why don't they move on? Why don't they say, I want to break up? Why don't they say, I'm not happy about X, Y, Z? Let's talk about that. But it almost feels like they were pushing you away so that they didn't have to be the one to end things. Maybe they were waiting for you to do that because they didn't want to be the bad guy. That's the kind of thing that they had in their mind. I'm not sure who broke up with who or what happened, but I think that's what they were doing. Very cowardly, just retreating, disappearing at times, all that kind of thing. And when you kind of openly said, what's the matter? It's like, nothing, it's fine. Why don't they just say? So really frustrates me, and I know it does you because we're both fire signs. So, but yeah, I think this whole situation, because it was so gradual, if this is you, it really changed you. You changed over time, very, very slowly over time. And I just want to show you something. I know I'm not talking about this card right now, but if you look at this Queen of Cups there, she's got all these little pebbles. I'll just move this down so you can see. All these little pebbles just under her, where her feet are. And pebbles are moulded over time through water. And that's why they're so smooth and soft. They start off as being really rough rocks and then they get smooth. So you're moulded over time by what happened in this situation, and very hurt, very upset. You can see this Queen of Cups here is very, very emotional. So the emotions and what happened and all that really, really changed you. And the other thing is, you're a free spirit at heart. You're a free spirit. And right in the middle, you've got this high priestess. And I know people are mad at me for jumping all over the place, but I keep on seeing how they're relating to each other. So the middle card's the high priestess, and she's all about spirit, the spirit. So you're a free spirit. You're a free spirit. You hate stagnancy. You hate hanging around in an old situation for longer than you want to be. Either you want a full-on relationship with someone you're in love with and, they're full on with you, or it's like, let's move on and go. But you didn't do that because you really love this person. You really had feelings for them and you were hoping they were going to change. So yeah, you're out of this now. I can see that. You're out of this now. But what I'm getting is you're still kind of looking back and you're still kind of learning more and more things as you think back on this situation. You're thinking, oh, I remember when they did that and they said that. I'm not going to let that happen again. I've learned from that. Oh, I remember when this happened. Oh, I've learned from that. That's not happening again. Because if you look up here right next to this Five of Pentacles, you've got the World card. And the World card's obviously all about freedom. You can see how free this woman is. But if you look at the woman, she's looking over her shoulder back into the Five of Pentacles. So that's you looking back over that really hard, really difficult time and you're learning. It's like, I'm free now, I'm over that, but I don't want to get into that again. So I have to learn from what happened and make sure that doesn't happen again. So I think that's what you're doing. So this is a really good time for you. This is a really good time for your growth. Because a lot of people, when they go through a breakup like that or a situation and it's really hurt them, they try not to think about it. But with you, because you're kind of re-examining things and thinking about this again, you're really going to learn from that, and you're not going to get into a situation like that again. That's what I'm seeing. And now you can be you. You've got your spirit back. You've got that free spirit back. You're in the spirit of the High Priestess. And she's right in the middle of this whole spread. So she's the most crucial card here. So the most important thing here is you've got your spirit back. You've got yourself back. So that's really, really important. Because, yeah, under that, you've got, under the Five of Pentacles, I should say, you've got the Hierophant. And the Hierophant's more about, it's about spirit, but it's more about the regimented rules and all that kind of thing. And when you lost your spirit, you were just going through the motions. That's what you were like, going through the motions. Okay, I'll get up, I'll go to work, say hello, or say goodbye, all that kind of, that's not you. That's not you. You're more the High Priestess. And so, yeah, now you've got that back again. So I just wanted to show you that as well. Okay, so I'll just talk about this Page of Wands down the bottom. So again, you know, he's looking up to the top of his wand and he's thinking, I'm growing out of what happened, and I'm doing that because I'm learning from all those bad things that I were in, and now I'm not going to let that happen again. But I've still got a lot of learning to do. I've still got a lot of thinking to do. So I think for you with this Page of Wands, it feels like you're at the start of something, because that's what this can be about. Growing into something. You're growing back into yourself, but also I'm getting something quite, you know, it feels like work. It might be a new job. Maybe you're learning something new. Might be studying. The pages are students, so it might be that you're studying something. Yeah, very, very steep learning curve. I hate corporate speak and all that. It's very cringy. But, you know, that's the only word I can think of. Very, very steep learning curve. So, and I think whatever this is, if this is you, it feels like I lost a lot to do this, or I put a lot in to do this, or I sacrificed a lot to be able to do this new job or learn this or whatever this is. So it might be that if it's studying, it might be that you paid a lot to do a course or something like that, or that you lost a lot of money, maybe you had to move. There's something about, I sacrificed a lot to be able to do this. And so now that you're there and you've got this kind of, oh, I'm not sure if I can do this. I don't know if I'm confident enough. That's what this page is doing. Can I actually do this? I haven't got that much confidence right now. I don't know if I should be here. You know, it's a little bit fish out of water. You feel like, oh, am I in the right place? I don't know. Because if you look at this page, he's all dressed up for winter. You know, he's got boots on and a cape and all that. But he's in the desert. So you probably feel like, oh, I don't know if I'm in the right place. I paid all this money, or I sacrificed so much to be here. And, you know, if I walk off, I've lost that. What am I going to do? I don't feel like this is right. So what I want to show you is, what I want to encourage you to do is to just hang in there. Because I think eventually, as you keep on getting through lots of different obstacles, and you've got a lot of work in front of you, but if you keep on working through that, you'll get confidence each time you go over an obstacle. And you absolutely are doing the right thing. You're absolutely in the right place. I really want to encourage you to hang in there. Because at the moment, it's a little bit like, it feels like, you know, the first day of school kind of feeling. Oh, I'm really scared. I don't know anyone. It's a little bit like that. That feeling goes. That's going to go. And as you go on and you get more experience and you do this, you'll feel more at home. You'll feel more on top of things, and your confidence will grow. And I think as your confidence grows, if this is all resonating with you, that's going to help your inner spirit to grow even more. So it's really important, if this is you, to stay where you are. And I think if you do this, things will get a lot better for you. The other thing I think is, you know, you can see across next to this, you've got these two coin cards here. So your money will grow as well eventually. If you've lost a lot of money, if you've paid some money to get into this, that will come back and more. It's going to be slow, you know, you've got the Knight of Pentacles, but it'll come back. So you'll get that back, you'll get your confidence back, and it'll really help you to really move up inside yourself. So hang in there and stay there. Really, really do that. Don't run away. Don't run away. I think if you run away, you'll probably feel even worse. You'll feel like, oh, I've lost all this money, I've sacrificed this, I feel like a failure. I don't want you to feel like that. I just want you to really work through this if that's you. Okay, so yeah, this is really standing out to me, and I want to show you this because I never see this, or I don't remember ever having seen this before, so I want to show you this. You've got these two pages here, side by side, and they're very positive pages. Very positive. To me, they are anyway. You know, the Page of Swords, not very positive. The Page of Cups, a lot of people see that as positive. To me, I don't really think that's a very serious card. So you've got these two really, really, really positive pages here. And pages are about communication. So I've got something coming in for you, and this is a very important message that's going to come into you. I'm actually seeing, yeah, what I'm seeing is that there's one message and then there's another message right after that, maybe within the same day even, maybe the next day. Two messages very close together with these two pages. Now, the first message that comes in, it's very, very cautious. Very cautious with this Page of Wands here. It's like, oh, I'm not sure what they'll think of me. Should I do this? I'm really worried about this. Very, very cautious. Very afraid to talk to you. Afraid to message you. I'm getting all that kind of energy. Now, it's not this X in the Five of Pentacles. It's absolutely not them. This is someone else. It feels like this is someone who goes right back quite far with you, because this is pages of, you know, they can be teenagers, students, quite young. So maybe you knew them years ago. They're very, very afraid. They're very worried, because what I'm getting here is there's some kind of, it feels like an argument or some kind of disagreement. And again, it happened a long, long time ago between you. And at the moment that they're in this kind of energy, this kind of Page of Wands energy, it's like, oh, are they going to reject me? How are they going to react to me? You know, lots of things have happened between us. We left on a bad note. Maybe you argued and that was it. They didn't talk to you again or something like that. And so, you know, they're worried you're still going to be angry and all that. So, yeah, this is what I'm getting really clearly here. This person that's coming back to message you twice and probably more after that, they've had their freedom. This is what they're thinking. I've had my freedom. You know, I left them, we had an argument or whatever it was, I went off, I had my freedom, and now I don't want that anymore. The grass isn't greener on the other side. What I really want is stability. I want a stable future with you. So they're thinking they want a stable future with you. They didn't want that when they were with you. They went very angry, there was an argument, they walked off. You know, they had their freedom, and the whole time they were thinking, this isn't right. This isn't really what I want. I'm supposed to be enjoying myself, and I'm not really enjoying myself. And I need to come back and talk to you. I need to come back and talk to the Sagittarius. But I'm really scared. The grass wasn't greener. What I want is stability with them. How are they going to react? So they're thinking all this. That's what I'm getting coming from them. And yeah, but this is really interesting as well. Look at this whole progression down the bottom here. I just want to show you this. So look across horizontally. So again, you've got this Page of Wands, and he's worried about contacting you, but you know, they're going to contact you. And then you've got that progression into the Page of Pentacles. So after they talk to you, they're going to start talking about stability, which is what this coin is. Can we start again? Can we have something stable? Can we really get into a relationship? Can we do that? And I think what they're thinking is, with this progression, if that works, if they'll agree to that, if you'll agree to that with them, then they're going to eventually move on to the Knight of Pentacles, which is a step up. It's a more mature, you know, it's obviously a pentacle, but it's more mature than the Page. So they want to step up to even more serious commitment with you. That's what they've got in their mind, that progression. Where they are right now is with the Page of Wands. They're still worried. So expect a message, expect two messages, one very close to the other. I've never actually seen the sequence like this. So one message very close to the other, and what they've got in mind is stability with you. Stability with you. But they're willing to wait. They're willing to do the work. They're willing to wait. They're willing to wait and take time for that to happen, because the Knight of Pentacles is a slow card. Right, so expect that to come in soon. Two very close messages. Right, so, okay, so the first card you've got for your present is this World card. Absolutely beautiful card. Yeah, so the World card can be about coming all the way back round to the start again, especially in love. You know, travelling all the way around the world, coming back to the start again. So this is them. They've had their freedom, like this woman, she's free. So they've had their freedom, and now the grass isn't greener, and they're like, no, I want to settle down now. I'm willing to settle down. I'm ready now. I wasn't before, I am now. Let's go right back to the beginning. This is what they're thinking they're going to say to you. Let's go right back to the start again. Let's start at the start. Let's forget all the arguments. Let's forget all the horrible things we said. I want to go back to the start with you. I want victory with you. Look at this big laurel wreath here. I want us to happen. That's what I'm getting there. So whatever you decide to do, I just want to tell you this. Firstly, I'm not seeing any negativity around them right now. You know, they're very honest. They're very open. Look at this big open laurel wreath. They want to be open with you. But there was definitely some kind of, anger, arguing, problems that happened between you in the past. And if you look again at this World card and you look right to the right of this, you've got this Knight of Swords. And it actually looks like he's rushing into this woman in anger. So that's what they're afraid of. That's what their mind is. That's where their mind is right now. It's like, I want this with you. I want to start at the start with you. I want the world with you. I think the world of you. But in the back of my mind, I've got this Knight of Swords here and all the problems and all that kind of thing. And are they going to remember that? Are they going to be over that? I'm really worried. I want to talk to them, but I've got that in the back of my mind. That's what I'm getting. So, and I just want to show you this. They've always loved you. They've always loved you, even when they were right at this angry moment, when they were angry with you and when you were fighting or whatever it was. Because there's a tiny little heart just behind that horse's eye in the Knight of Swords. So even when they were fighting, they still had love for you. And they always have. They've had love for you all this time. They haven't admitted it to themselves because they were thinking, no, I've had this big argument. I'm really angry. I'm going off to have my freedom now. No more of that. They went off and did that. And they realised, no, I don't want that anymore. I really don't want that anymore. I want stability. I need to come back. I need to tell them this. That's what I'm getting. So, I think when they open up to you, not at the beginning, the first message is very scary. They're very careful. The second message is also probably going to be quite careful, because if you look at this page, he's being very careful. The Page of Pentacles, he's being very careful with this coin here. But as you have these conversations, if you're willing to talk to them, they're going to open up. They're going to tell you all this. They're going to tell you everything that happened in the past. They're going to tell you all what happened, what was behind all the arguing, what was behind everything, what they've done. You can see this great big open laurel wreath. So they want to be open with you. And that's what they're going to do, or that's what they're going to be like eventually when they talk to you. Okay, I don't normally talk about timelines, but what I'm getting is not when they message you. I think they're going to message you soon. But when they start to really open up properly and tell you everything, I think that might be around December, maybe late December. So it's developing slowly. They message, maybe there's some time between the messages, but 2 messages right away, a little bit of space, maybe more after that. And I think if you're willing to talk to them, when they get into the deep conversations and all this talk about stability, commitment and all that, that's probably going to come sometime in December. So that's what I'm getting there. I know that's specific, but I just want to tell that to someone who knows who this is, if that's you. Okay, right, so I'm going to talk about this High Priestess now. So yeah, what I'm getting here is it feels, this is a very feminine card, and right next to this, you've got this Queen of Cups here. So I'm actually seeing two women here. Lots and lots of feminine energy. Yeah, two different women. Yeah, they're totally opposite from each other. Absolutely opposite. And yeah, I'm getting that phrase in my mind, that phrase, poles apart. And, if you look at the pillars on this card, they're opposites. You've got these two poles there, these two pillars, and they're completely opposite to each other. And, the High Priestess is right in the middle. So, yeah, I'm getting family here. And, yeah, if this is you, it feels like you go a long way back with both of these women. Okay, so this is quite specific, just warning you. But I have to say this. So, I have to say this because someone needs you. That's what I'm getting here. Now, these two women, if this is you, they brought you up at different times. So it's like one of them brought you up at one time and then you went on to live with the other one or something like that. You might have gone backwards and forwards a bit. So I've got one woman here who's a very, very soft, very gentle, very caring energy. That's what I'm getting with one of them. The other one's the opposite. What I mean by that is they're not a horrible person, but they're a lot more practical. So with this very, very kind-hearted, very emotional woman, if you know who that is, there's some kind of loss around her. And she's really mourning that loss. So it might be that someone's left her, or it might be that she's actually had a literal loss. Someone's died. It might be that. And what I'm getting is it might be some kind of, I'm getting a date coming up, so it might be that there's an anniversary of that or something like that coming up. It's like, it's in the air. It's like, it's this kind of year when they remember this person. Now, if you know who that is, I really want to encourage you to contact this woman because they'd really, really like you to talk to them. They actually need someone to listen to them. That's what I'm getting. They've got lots of emotion and they want to pour that out. I'm getting that really strongly for someone. Now, they're not going to reach out to people at this time. They feel as if they can't do that. Because if you look at this Queen of Cups, she's not communicating with anyone. She's too wrapped up in her feelings. So I think for you, if you contacted her, I think at the beginning she might say something like, oh, I'm fine, it's okay. But you need to really get past that and you need to really say, no, I really, really want to talk to you. I really want to know what's up. And I think if you do that, she'll really open up to you. And whoever this is, they need to do that. It feels like a mother figure, actually. So she needs to open up to you. She needs to get that off her chest. And it feels like to her, anyway, that you're pretty much the only person that could do that because you totally understand some kind of situation around her. So if that's you, definitely contact her. Again, you've got the Page of Pentacles under this, which is about a message, communication sometimes. And also, again, if you look at that Page of Pentacles, look at the way that he's very delicately holding the coin. So deal with her in a very delicate way. She's very sensitive right now, this person. She's really feeling that loss. So you need to be very delicate with her. But also, if she says to you, if this person says to you, oh, I'm fine, don't worry about me, I'm okay. No, don't leave it there. Keep on asking. No, I really want to know how you are because I'm sensing that there's a problem. And I'm here to listen. I really want to listen to you. I think she'll let all that out to you, and that'll really help this person. So I really, really hope the right person gets to hear that, because someone really needs you to listen to them if that's you.